Hello dear friends, I am XinYi. Welcome to my art class channel. Today I'm going to show you how I did this self-portrait Chibi manga drawing. And I'm going to lead you through with these two photos. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, so this is the first we are going to work on. And once you see this portrait, is basically facing to the front, and you can see the face is slightly tilting. So I did with a circle, and then I decide with the location of the eyes, nose, and the mouth. This step is so easy, and the head is a little bit hard to decide, to locate, and you just keep drawing with like a slightly outside of the face. And then for the hair is basically a curly hair, so I'm just temporarily putting some small lines for the curly hair for a placeholder. And for the body, this is the stage of design, so we are getting the body, keep the body as little as you can. So this is a ribbon in the front, and yeah, this is basically my drawing and my planning. I spent more time than this because this is like a double speed, and if you cannot draw as quick as me, that's fine. So just stop there and do your own pace. Okay, so here I am doing the earring, and you can do all without the earring. So this is basically the planning stage. Is just a simple drawing, and I decide to have this girl tilting a little bit. Okay, so let's go to the inking step. The inking I have fast played for 4 times, so you can do your own pace again. And for the inking, one area you need to pay attention is the head. And also the collar area is like a fur with the fur. So when you do that, you try to keep your inking pen quite loose. Okay, so this is the way of doing it, and in the same time you can change as you want and keep the whole process smoothly. Okay, so let's moving on to the second one. The second one, right now we are in the planning stage, but this time the face is like a 3/4 view. It's slightly turning to the left hand side. So when I do this face, I just keep the line, the center line to the left, and to have a placeholder for the eyes, nose, and mouth. And then I decide to keep the same hairstyle as the original reference photo. So for the chibi drawing, the face is big and the body is relatively small. So for this exercise, it's a little bit hard because you need to draw the hands. So the hands is something you need more exercise, because as human being, our hands is complex and we have a lot of gestures. So right in here you need to practice more. But fortunately you have your own hands, right? You can put your hands in there and in front of you, and you can use your hand as an example to practice. So for here, I'm just quickly to going through with the hands, and once I am done with the right hand side, the hand, I found out it's relatively big, so I decided to keep consistent as the left hand because this is a chibi drawing. So the chibi is quite small with the body, so you need to keep the proportion always in your mind. Okay, so this is the plan for the pose, and then adding a little bit curved hair. Today I used 2 reference photos. It's the same hairstyle, so it's all curly hair. So curly hair, you need to like draw thinking about a ribbon for the strand. So all the hair you draw like strand after strand. No necessary to exactly copy the reference photo, as long as you can make the hair looks natural. Okay, so this is basically of the planning for the second one, and I'm doing the inking process again, and this is fast forward as well. And for the eye, you need to spend more time to thinking about your eye shape and the iris and the highlight, and you decide or she is opening mouth or close the mouth. I'm just making a very simple smiling mouth, and then as getting to the hair. So for the hair, you really need some patience, because for this whole drawing, for the chibi drawing, the hair is the most important part. And also, I think today's exercise is a little bit challenging, just because we are adding the hand as well. So that when you're doing the hands, be careful of all the fingers going, and you not necessary to as precise, as detailed as a real manga or realistic drawing. This is just a small chibi drawing, and keep everything small. Okay, so we are almost done with the hand and the hair. So, and finally, you doing a little bit wrinkles, foldings for the clothes, and yeah, that's it. We completed the 2 line drawings. So our next step is like get started to get coloring. So the watercolor process is always the fun time for me, and right now I'm putting both of the characters together, and let's make the coloring process quicker, because we can do both of them at the same time. So first step, I'm using a peach color to do the skin color, and you just pile for the whole layer of covering the face and all the skin color area. So what I did, I used like a Chinese painting brush, because this brush can hold more water. If you have a watercolor brush, this also works. So the first step, I'm just piling all the color into the face, and the second step is getting a little bit red color mixed with some water, and you can use a clean water brush and soft the edges, so make the edges looks the transition looks natural. So I also did putting a little bit red color for the eyeshadow. Okay, so I did for both, and for the cheek area, you can make it a little bit darker than the eyeshadow area. So this is the second layer for the skin, and what I'm thinking right now is maybe to put a little bit more colors for the shadow area. So the shadow area is right underneath the head, and also for the neck area. So once you understand of the process, is basically follow the same process all the time. And also you need to think about the light source. This time I'm thinking the light source is coming from the right hand side. So right now you can see I'm adding this, the third layer of dark brown color into the faces, and just focusing on the outer area will against the sunlight. So right now I'm working on this red girl's eyes, and I want to use a brown color for the eye. So I did with the first layer of brown color, and then putting more darker color on the top side, because the eyelid will cast some shadows. Okay, so put a little bit brown color for the nose area, and for the mouth I want to leave it like this. Okay, so the next step is I'm working on for the red girl's hair. So I want to use the brown color, the reddish brown for the first layer, and just purposely leaving some areas with the highlight area. So just you can see on the top of the hair and the side of the hair, I just leave them, not coloring them, as a highlight. And for this step, you can decide where is like the light couldn't go through, and you can get them as dark as you can. And then I'm doing the second layer of darker color, darker brown. And for the area I'm sure will be darker, I'm just putting the darker brown. And don't forget about the area right behind the neck. So all the areas right behind the neck would be darker. Okay, so this is an easy drawing, so we are not putting too much details, and you can just follow me where I'm putting the darker area, and you can just follow what is my step, and I'm sure you will do it well. Okay, so this is the hair for the second girl, and I don't want to make more layers in there. And I forgot about the skin or the shadows, and also the cheekbones, the collarbones. So right now I'm working on the folds for the clothes. I'm thinking to add a gray color. You can use a black color and put more water in there, and you can make the gray. And don't forget about all the folds, especially surrounding the sleeve area. Okay, so I'm leaving it for now, and when it's drying, I'm planning to put a little bit pinkish color for the dress. So temporarily, let's moving on to the first girl. For the first girl, once you see my tip of my brush, how I'm doing the fur look like area. So I'm just making the brush, the tip of the brush, a little bit flat, and I use some gray color to you need to keep the brush, the tip dry, a little dry, and then you tip with some gray color, and then you just piling those fur like you get illusion like it's fur look like. And also you need to be careful about where is the darker area, and in this photo is like surrounding the hat, like in the back side of the hat is darker color. And right now I'm using blue color to do the dress. And this dress, I don't know whether you noticed about the original reference photo. The dress is blue and mixed with some brown color. So I'm just leaving some area with blank for now and putting some brown color and to mix them together. And for the area is obviously could be darker. You can adding more color in there. So this is the blouse for the first girl. And the only area we left right now is the earrings and the hair. So for the earring, I use light purple, and for the hair, I'm thinking maybe changing this hair color a little bit. So the right hand side, the blouse area is dried, so I put a little pink color. The pink color is just a red color, adding more water. And for the first girl's hair, I decide to use like a black as the foundation color for the hair. And then don't forget about the area behind the neck, and the rest is similar to the red girl. Is the similar process, and also leaving some highlight areas. And you know what? When you're doing the hair, you need to think about like give some changes for the color. Somewhere is darker, somewhere is lighter. You have some variety of considerations. Then your work will look dynamic. So I'm putting another layer right now, just behind the neck and beneath the hat area. So you can see clearly those areas like more dark, and it's making more sense. You know the watercolor, when the watercolor is drying, the end result might be slightly different than your current drawing, current painting. The color will fade a little bit. So you can wait until it's fully dry, and if you think something you need to adjust, you can do that. Okay, so right now I'm putting another layer because the the shirt area is already dried, so I put another layer and considering some shading area, some dark area. So this is for refining of shading. And finally, I'm thinking these two girls, they don't have a background. And I'm just thinking to make a very easy background. So first I use a clean brush and getting some water, and I just pile some water right surrounding them. And then I want to put the gray color for the background. It looks like a cloud for the right girl. And for the left girl, I'm thinking because this girl is wearing a gray hat, so I want to like change this background into a pink background. So it's following the same process and adding some colors. Don't make it too dark, just lightly going surrounding and dip and move dynamically. Okay, so basically this is today's demo, and hopefully you have fun same as me. And for the water control, it's your experiment, and you of course you can select any color as you want. This is not what the tutorial is about. Today's tutorial is basically following your favorite photo, and you can create a Chibi manga by yourself and keep what you learn as an opportunity to practice what you learn, right? And so far, I know you have learned a lot of copying, but maybe you don't have opportunity to utilize what you learn and to create something by your own. Okay, so this is like encouraging you and inspiring you of doing your self-portrait or your family members, and this is quite fun process. And I hope you remember I also showed you last time 2 self-portraits, and this time is the second one, and hopefully by this 2 demo you already understand of the whole process. So hopefully you have fun, and if you have any question, I'm willing to help you. Okay, have a good day.